episode of the Gen X Cynics. I am Kalari Gamer Chick AK10 and
My turn?
yes,
Oh.
dear.
I'm Greg. Hi.
That's Axiom.
I am awkward on camera.
He normally streams without the camera, and there are plenty of reasons for it, but we talk a lot about gaming and movies and TV that we like, so we thought it'd be fun to do like a retro / current cast about geeky stuff. And I know we aren't the only ones that do this, but unlike some people, we're not scripted.
We're better.
Yeah, we just go off the top of our heads with stuff. So
Super better. Go ahead. Flip over to them.
yeah,
You'll be back.
you will.
Go ahead. Do it.
We have a lot of fun talking about this stuff, and a lot of times we do it in the car while, just driving around and having fun. But we decided that we're going to try to do at least once a week a thing about gaming, movies, anything that is fun, and we just want to talk about it.
Whatever tickles my beard.
Yeah, I like to go in.
Yeah, tickles my beard.
Yes. And I mean, he's a gamer, I'm a gamer, and we both like geeky stuff. If you haven't told from the background,
He's a better gamer.
that's something that we talked about. Girl gamers and some of the things we go through. And actually, we have a great opinion about that we'll definitely talk about tonight. And if you want to talk about different geek pop culture stuff, and you follow us on Twitter and have an idea, feel free to shout it out to us. We are not above talking about the stuff that people are into. One of the things that people have done during the Bonnet Chronicles was we want to talk about Gem, because one of my sound alerts, which, sorry, tonight they're disabled, y'all. We got spammed last night, is Gem's theme. We are children of the 80s and the 90s. We grew up during what I like to think the true golden age of cartoons and stuff, because cartoons tied into toys, which is what they should do. I watch a lot of Japanese TV, and while the reason they still have Toys R Us and a lot of the companies that folded here is because they know how to market to kids, and they know how to market to kids' parents. And a lot of their cartoons, animations, tie into toys. So tonight we're going to talk a lot of retro, a lot of stuff that we've loved as kids in gaming and TV that we don't see anymore, right, dude?
She's going to talk. I'm going to stand here and watch you guys. I'm the bouncer at the bar.
You're going to get a lot of reaction to me from his sense of humor, y'all. But really, I think that, both of us, we grew up in a time where a lot of stuff was marketed to us because we were kids. Like, my favorite shows as a kid was Voltron, Rainbow Bright, Sailor Moon, obviously. I've got Sailor Moon everywhere. And cartoons like that. And then we both watched shows like Super Mario Brothers Hour, Reboot, Captain N.
Legend of Zelda, even though
Legend of
you
Zelda.
actually hate that anime.
I hate Link speaking. I love the video games make it where you can hear him make noises. He knows how to speak, but you don't get that, "Excuse me, princess."
That was the biggest mistake I think they made in that show, was if they do another Link animated series, Link doesn't talk.
Exactly.
Link always has somebody talking for him, and anytime he goes to talk, he's interrupted.
Hey, Glass. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Glass. Hi, I see you. If you guys see me look over here, I am modding at the same time that we are streaming, so
Yeah.
I'm just checking the chat and seeing if anybody needs to be banned for doing stuff they should not be doing.
Like last night.
Look at this face.
It's going good. We were just talking about the Super Mario Brothers Hour Zelda cartoon, and I could not stand Link talking. I trust you. We run with him. He's in Mystique Guardians on DDO. He's a good guy.
Good man.
Yeah.
You don't want to see this outside your house. I don't want to see this in the mirror in the morning. But you know what? We all have crosses to bear.
You're crazy. But yeah, the thing with Link talking, it took away from a lot of what we loved about Link growing up, because Legend of Zelda is like my all-time favorite video game. I literally still have my original cartridge from 1988. And yeah, I'm getting the shield. That shield he just showed you is from, what's the Etsy person?
I don't remember their name. I'll get everybody the link. I'll make sure I drop it in the chat before we're done. I found him on Etsy. He did, that one was one he offered. I had him do a custom job for a friend of ours, and I wanted to do one for Cal as well. and the one that she has coming is a purple body with a white bird, and then the regular silver and the yellow or the gold Triforce on it. So
yup,
we got a picture of it today, and it looks really sharp.
Awesome. And see, Zelda merchandise, unfortunately, is not a thing. Nintendo still doesn't believe that women play video games or something. Their marketing needs an overhaul. Because I've been waiting for the longest time to get Zelda themed stuff because she has a lot of the same colors that I like. Purple, obviously. And they never made it. When you go and you look up Legend of Zelda merchandise, because he's been trying to get me a Switch case.
Yeah, I've been trying to
forever.
Get mine.
Yeah. He's got a nice one.
I got one when it first came out. Really nice. Nice blue, like the hero tunic that he wears in the game. Nice Legend of Zelda, everything nice on it. Great for me.
Yeah.
Nothing for Cal. Nothing purple that has Zelda on it, holding a Sheikah Slate or anything like that. The most you get now is you get this same design in brown, just a craptastic brown, and the same symbol or the Sheikah eye on it. Nothing that a little girl gamer or a big girl gamer would want.
Exactly.
Like, who would want just a... Yeah, I'm a fan of Legend of Zelda, but all I get the choice of is a brown case with only one character from the series on it.
And I buy Zelda merch. I've got a Zelda purse that anytime we go out, people compliment it because it's a cool purse. It looks like a rune sack and it has the Legend of Zelda on it, but it's really gender neutral. And I'm fine with gender neutral stuff, but it's like they don't market to females at all. And one of the things that happened on Twitter a few weeks ago was Gail Simone, who, if y'all don't know her, she is an amazing comic book creator.
Yeah.
She talked about how a lot of people, oh, you got a nice COVID mask? Yes, send me that picture. That she talked about how she worked with a video game company that acted like women don't game. And I told her, I was like, Nintendo is notoriously bad at that because in their cash cow Pokemon, it took till X and Y for you to be able to really play even the character of color. And it wasn't until second gen, I think, or maybe third gen, where you could play a female. They did not believe females wanted to catch cute creatures. Come on, Nintendo. We have been playing... Hey, Zayana! We have been playing video games since the early 80s. I was in arcades when arcades were a thing. I miss arcades.
Remember arcades? I remember arcades.
Yeah.
Token.
The thing is, there are still video game companies that think women don't game. And if anything, Twitch has taught you that we exist. We play all kinds of video games.
And not to rain on the guy gamers parade, they're the better gamers.
I almost got tense when he said that, but I feel like a lot of guys see a female and think we need hand holding, we need help. I have a guildie that I love that I was talking to Axim about, that he is a build encyclopedia. And I know when he sees this, he's going to know who I'm talking about. I love his knowledge. I don't need it. I play a certain way. So when I get build advice that I don't ask for, my brain starts to play the little Homer music, like, do, I'm not going to listen to what you say because I know how to play my characters. But he doesn't stop. So I've learned to, like, take everything he says at me with a grain of salt. And sometimes he does give me good build advice. I don't mind when I ask for help, getting help. Is when people see that I am playing the game my way and having fun and give that unsolicited advice, that drives me nuts.
Yeah, and Cal has a big problem with anytime she gets on Destiny and she is waiting for me, guys just walk up, stand right in front of her, especially if she's out trying to shoot something, or start shooting at her to try to get her attention. Where do you think that's going to go?
Exactly.
How is that not annoying? If somebody did that to you, you would be annoyed as shit. Don't do it. You're not impressing the gamer.
At all. And I am very antisocial in console games for a reason. I don't want to be harassed. I just want to get on and have fun. I am a bit more social in my PC games because I've been playing them for years. Like, they're like family, my guild. We have been in Lost Legions for, I think I joined them in 2011, maybe even 2010. I have been with them for a long time. My kid grew up while I was in that guild. So when I quest with people and I've run with them a long time, yeah, they get away with a little bit more than the average stranger. But
I have that power.
The problem with like Destiny is when I play on Xbox, anybody can message you on Xbox, and that sparks my anxiety.
Yeah.
So when I'm in a video game that's already like globally played and I have somebody following me and harassing me, it makes me not want to play that game. And it's not because I'm a bad player. What I got pissed about was Axiom and I were trying to get a catalyst for me, and this guy kept dying. He was the only one on our team that kept dying. He has the nerve to send me a message, let me tell you how to fix your build. And I was like, I didn't die. And I got almost the most kills, because I think you were number 1, I was number 2, and dead guy was dead guy. But he thought he had to tell me how to build the character.
I can't remember, because we did a lot of strikes that day, and it goes back and forth. Sometimes I get more kills, sometimes you get more kills. Final Fantasy 14, I can't play that game with randoms anymore because of that.
It's frustrating. It's like
it wrecks it. It wrecks the gameplay for somebody that's just. I just wanted to get online and play a fun, geeky game without the randos just popping out of the woodwork.
Exactly.
When Cal said that she had this problem, I was like, no way, it doesn't happen to me. But you make a female avatar, and if people even suspect that you might be a female gamer, you're subject to whatever whims they have.
And I know some people are like, well, just make a male gamer. I shouldn't have to change the gender that I feel comfortable playing as because people don't know how to control themselves. Yeah. That's not fair.
What's going to happen is from now on, now that I'm here, whenever they start bothering you, when they ask to get on mic, let them do it, and then I'll get on in your place.
That would be funny.
So,
because it's just
you want a pic? I'll send you a pic.
Yeah, because it's just weird to do that. I know for a fact that you can find love in a video game. Because funny story, Axiom and I met playing a Mush client Mud that my friend designed. We had to stay in character in that game. So a lot of our out of character stuff we talked after the game. But we enjoyed questing together and our story arcs just meshed. So it is possible to find your partner in video games. It's just not going to happen with you following her around the map when she's not interested.
Yeah, you act like a stalker, you're going to get treated like a stalker.
Exactly. It was just so creepy and weird to have this guy. He literally followed me around the Cosmodrome in Destiny. And it was like, dude, I'm not paying you any mind for a reason. It's not fun.
I do too, Glass. I miss Muds like crazy.
Oh, yeah. Muds were a lot of fun. We had this place called Dragon's Era. And my friend Ron designed it, created it. And you just got to play. It was like D&D, but with words.
Yeah.
And the only rule was no outside stuff. When you were in the world, you stayed in character. And it was so much fun. Because when we played, we were the characters. There was no what was going on in politics or news. If you brought that in, you got timed out. If you brought it in too much, he put you away. You were not able to play that character anymore. And he was serious about it because I modded for him sometimes too. You got points awarded to you if you stayed in character and it made sense. He did live events. Those were so much fun.
Yeah.
We would be in town square just minding our own business. All of a sudden an invasion would happen.
Yeah.
And
sometimes it was the bunny from Monty Python.
I loved it. Yeah, because my character being the snooty drow that just thought she was the toughest thing since nails were created was like, I'm not afraid of a bunny, and then it tore my neck out. So yeah, we had fun, and he used a lot of music to enhance the game. So he was a big Final Fantasy guy. Whenever you heard One Wing Angel, you were gonna get messed up. It was fun. And I miss stuff like that. And DDO is close for me with the character abilities. Like you can create a character and build it your way. But there's no role play. A lot of times we spend time just shooting the breeze about life and it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take that away because this is the only socialization I get nowadays because of what's going on in the outside world.
The thing I miss most about the game is everybody stayed in character.
Yes.
and I know it's like we're really driving that point home, but in any other game, I have never seen it where you walk into some place and you're not hearing either people on chat or people in the chat room talking about, well, I had to go do this today, and then I did this today, and then this. It takes out. It's like if I want to play a game, an RPG, I want to immerse myself as the character I created, and that mud, I got to do that. When I logged on, I was my warrior, I was my cleric, I was whoever I happened to be wanting to play that day, and I loved it because it was fully immersive. It felt like when I got done playing, it wasn't like I just got done playing a video game. I felt like I was actually involved in that world. It was like reading a book to me.
Yeah.
And I get pulled into the books I read.
Yep.
So it was just like this is the best graphic chip ever because it's my imagination.
Yep.
And I have a very vivid imagination.
And I mean,
look what I create.
You're a mess.
Totally taking credit for that.
You're so crazy. And my thing is, we love the characters so much. We brought them. I went to a forum because I decided I wanted to become a writer, and I did a contest. And people drew us such realistic pictures of our fighter and my archer that I still use. Mm-hmm. It is amazing the artwork that they did of Kahira and Metush that I still use for artwork as background art because people got what we were going with. And these were mush characters. And like I've remade a lot of them in DDO as well. Some people stole those character names though. I didn't realize they were so popular.
Yeah.
But it was fun to have that customization with your head. And I love games that allow you to customize your characters. That's one of the things I will say Dungeons and Dragons games do the best when it allows you to make your own player character, is they really set the bar high for character design. And I think other games need to get on board with that. Destiny a little bit too. Like my human warlock is what I feel I would look like if I was a warlock. And my lost, are they called lost?
That's Lost or Ascendant or some...
Yeah, that purple race of characters that I made.
They're alien people.
They're alien people. I legit love... Okay.
I'm opening it up right now.
Ooh, I love it. Look at this on the mask. Oh, that is so cool, Glass. I gotta get it where we can show stuff like that up on the screen. This is a complete new pilot cast, though.
Yeah.
We're gonna have more interactive features. We had to disable sound alerts, y'all, and I'm sorry. I love my 80 sound bites. We are gonna bring those back. But yesterday, when I did the Bonnet Chronicles, we had trolls.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, they spam my channel so much, I thought they threw it offline. But Twitch is having an issue with video on demand, so last night's Bonnet Chronicles isn't even available right now.
Yeah.
But we had people just constantly spamming them. And I think Sound Alerts has the Airwolf. I was going through all of them. I have the Axel Foley one from Beverly Hills Cop that Art was playing when I went live last Sunday. I love it. I love the 80s. We're children of the 80s. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because we can bring back some of the stuff that we thought were cool and do like a side-by-side comparison of stuff that's going on today. You know? Like a lot of video games. I love getting a set story. That's one of the things I loved about Legend of Zelda. You had the beginning, you had the middle, you had the end. I love Gem. Gem is just it's one of those cartoons that I cannot watch currently because there is no plot and story makes no sense. The girl's an orphan, but she's the daughter of a millionaire and she's running an orphanage and there was a lot of drama, but the music is still fire. I loved every one of the Gem songs. I had the cassette, I had the dolls. I loved Gem. But I feel like a lot of things we got in the 80s and the 90s, they just said, no, people will pay us for half-ass.
Yeah.
I buy DLCs because I have to, but I hate that we pay for a game and we pay a lot of money for games and we don't get the full game.
Yeah.
I think Netflix was trying to do a Gem reboot. And then they tried that live action, which I disavow. I refuse to watch any live action of cartoons because They have yet to get that right.
And apparently, it's like the second worst movie rated by IMDb. Geely is the first worst rated.
Yeah.
Remember Geely?
I don't, because I refuse.
Remember when that was a thing?
Yeah. I heard they're dating each other again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ben Affleck and
maybe
Jennifer.
We'll get Geely too.
That's going to be the sign of the apocalypse.
The reckoning.
Yeah. I don't want to see that.
Geely too.
Exactly, Ziana. It is so frustrating to buy a game when you come from a time of playing, Record of Ragnarok. I need to get caught up on that. But the problem I have with video games now is they want you to believe that you're getting a full game, and then you buy it, and it's like, well, if you want an actual ending to this story, buy this DLC. And it's like, no. Give me what I had as a child. When I bought Legend of Zelda, you got the beginning, the middle, and the end. You did your questing. You found your princess. You beat the bad guy, and you won. And yes, you could play it over and over again, which I love that too. And then I can still replay the Legend of Zelda original game. I can't say that about a lot of modern games.
Yeah, and the prices don't drop.
At all.
If it's a popular, Xana's got a great point.
Yeah.
If it's a popular game like Mario Kart, we've been talking about picking up Mario Kart so that we can play it on like My Mario Mondays.
Yeah.
Or just play Mario Kart together, because there's a lot of games we want to try to play stuff together, and a lot of it doesn't have a decent online multiplayer that we can actually play together. I will not play competition with Cal. She is terrible.
I am just I'm a sore loser. I don't lie. But Nintendo's got a real problem with streaming. Like, they do not want us to directly stream their games, and I don't understand that, because that's advertising. If people see streamers playing your games, they want to play them.
Yeah.
But they're the only platform so far that makes it harder to stream their games. You need extra stuff just to do it, and then you have to worry that they might sue you for what you're playing.
Yeah.
I don't like that. And I feel like I told Axiom this. Nintendo's problem is they think they're too big to fail, because they have a lot of flagship games that when you play them, you know you're playing Nintendo. But they don't even take care of those games.
No. And they forget how close they came to being Sega.
Yeah.
If the Switch had not done as well as it did, Nintendo wouldn't be a console company anymore. It would just be a gaming company, and they would have had to sell off all their characters.
Exactly.
Or their ownership of everything to different systems. Like, I was sitting there wondering, I was like, well, I hope Xbox gets Link, because
I
hate to see it go to PlayStation just because Link wears a green tunic and Xbox has a green logo. Yes, I am that simple.
Yeah. But my thing is, I feel like Nintendo says things like, oh, we never take advice about gaming from fans, or we're not going to do what the fans want of us because we know what we're doing. And granted, they have been around for 70 plus years. Even before they became a full-on video game company, Nintendo was a strong corporation. What they don't understand is that they have a lot more competition now, a lot more competition with staying powers. And if Xbox ever gets a real flagship game outside Halo, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
PlayStation already kind of got a lock on Final Fantasy, not as much as they used to, but that's a big name for them. Nintendo needs to listen to their fans. Every time I put out a tweet about my ideas for a Pokemon MMO, it is so well received, because they already laid the foundation for it. There is legit no reason to keep having us play the same game over and over in a different region.
Yep.
You have the ability to give us jobs, whether we want to be breeders or trainers or gym leaders. The thing I really gripe about in Sword was not only did they give us an open area and took away mounts, which make sense. I want to ride my Rapidash, and use it piss me off. But they gave you that storyline where you go to the fairy psychic type, which is the type I use. You get told that the lady's looking for a gym replacement, and then they give it to your rival. I was pissed. The only thing that saves Sword for me is that you can feed your Pokemon curry and give them the itis. That makes me happy. I don't know why it makes me happy. It makes me happy. But exactly, and that's a good point, Glass. And I'm weird about that because I've literally worked for gaming companies. A lot of people don't know this, and some of y'all do if you've been with DDO for a while. I did promotions for Turbine Games before they sold to Standstone. I no longer work for the company, and I've had to make that clear to people who remember me when I did work for Turbine. That was promotions. I got a nice package for what I did for them. But I no longer work for them. But I understand that these people really want the game to be successful. But they're not above critique. And one of the things that Turbine was really fair with me on is they allowed me to promote them, but they also allowed me to do fair reviews on what I didn't think was fair for the game. No other gaming company did that. I got into a fight with, I think it was, what was the name of that game company that made the Transformers MMO?
Oh, I don't know.
They were a mess, and they tried threatening me to get me to write a good review of their crappy MMO. Let me tell you something about being in the gaming world when you're doing that end. It's a mess. Because for every game company you work for that actually cares about their game, you got people that just want to make the money. And thank you, 3DO. Yeah, 3DO pisses me off because I love the Heroes of Might and Magic series. I still play Heroes of Might and Magic, but they put out that Transformers MMO and it was a mess. And because I had press access to it, I got in on what they said was a closed beta and that I would be able to tell people what they should look for in this game. I was supposed to customize an Autobot. I was supposed to be able to have real world combat and grow. And when I finally got into the game, you got this blocky car that was not customizable. The combat was a mess and it kept crashing. So I wrote an honest review on why you shouldn't spend your money on this game. And the back and forth threats that I got from that company, I will never forget because it was so ridiculous. They wanted me to lie to people about this game. I won't lie. If I don't like something, it is better to let people know why than to have them go, well, Kalari recommended this game, so I spent $60 and it was a waste of money. And there's always going to be games that I like that other people don't like. I gave DC Universe the best 2 years of my life. I wish I had it because all I got for it is a Batman statue. But I gave that because every time I tried to quit, they brought in a feature that was like, shiny. Like the Green Lanterns was my last shiny. They kept me for about a good month playing in Green Lantern until I realized I am just playing the same content over and over and this is not fun. And the problem with DC Universe Online wasn't it going free to play. It was telling people that if you spent $199, you would be lifetime VIP, and all you got for it is I got the statue. And I did it twice because I wanted Axiom on it too. And I think
you got the statue, and then you got a little bat bot that followed you around. It was over your shoulder.
Yeah.
And then they released all that content to the general public anyway. So
yeah.
Like,
so
you gave us $100 and you got like
$200 twice.
Yeah.
I still feel that shame of a fool and her money was easily parted, but I was so excited about exactly the Lantern combos was fun, and if they had did half the things they showed in that trailer where you could toss a helicopter and have that kind of combat in DC Universe Online, I would have loved it. But the problem with DC Universe Online is like a lot of games, like why I don't trust that Avatar game coming out. The cinematics never match the gameplay. And if they show a game where you see more movie than actual game footage, run. I am saying that as somebody who worked for game companies. Never trust a game company that doesn't show actual gameplay footage because it's garbage. One of the things I like about the Dragon's Age series and how they're doing it right, and it might just be my bias because I play the series, is they are showing a lot of cinematics, but they also have showed a breakdown of how they're building characters, how the gameplay is going to be, how the models are going to move within the game. And I feel like, exactly, one of my gripes about Destiny 2, Axiom can attest to this, is they showed these amazing cinematics while we were supposed to be playing the game.
Yeah.
So we have to hold up our actual battles to watch gameplay that we should be able to do in the game.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. I'm a warlock in Destiny. I love the warlock class. My mentor can teleport other people to different things and do amazing things. I can't. I can throw a big purple ball. I love the purple ball. It pisses me off when they feature stuff like that, cinematics, but it doesn't translate to the actual game. And they take a lot of money to do those cinematics, and I'm not knocking the cinematics. But if the gameplay doesn't fit the fun, all you've got is a pretty picture. I can watch those on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you $60 to watch a movie.
Yeah, and they keep nerfing weapons.
Yeah, I hate that.
You go through I hate Crucible in Destiny. I don't want to be shot at by other players.
I'm not a PvPer.
I want to fight the bad guy. I want to fight the enemy. I want to be able to do the raids that the enemy that you're supposed to be able to team up on, but I don't know 6 people. There aren't 6 people on my friends list on Xbox
at all
that play Destiny that have 6 hours to put into a raid.
Exactly.
I was like, why didn't it have it where you could just boot up the game?
I don't think they did, Glass.
They never fixed it else. No, but probably not. Why isn't the raid just, okay, we're going to grab you certain people and then we're going to tell you what you need to do in each area so that you know what you're doing in a raid?
Raids in Destiny are not newbie friendly at all.
We tried to do a raid together. We got in. We got to the first area. Wiped us out. Just we had no idea what was going on. We were shooting the bad guy. Wiped us out. And it turns out we had to stand on certain platforms while a symbol was being shown, and we had to find that platform to match, and then we would have been fine. But it said nothing about that. I was like, if you're going in without any of the mythos about where you're going, how are you supposed to know what to do?
Exactly.
You have to go online and look it up. But
and that's from people. Yeah, that's from people who stumbled through the raid over and over. It's like that in a lot of games. Like, I love DDO. Glass can attest. One of the things that bothered me about certain raids when they come out is if people don't go on Lamania and learn the strategies to them, you are going in blind. And not only are you going in blind, a lot of times if they try to do something new or different, it can be frustrating. It's not so bad if you're eager for something new, because if you've been playing the game nearly 20 years like we have with DDO, you do crave something new. But it can be frustrating going in and there's not clear indicators of, okay, this is what you have to do to make the raid go forward. And a lot of games do that. Oh, the dance. We might be doing that later on tonight too. The Dryad raid is a lot of fun, but it can be a bit confusing when you first step in there, you know? And I think a lot of games just think, well, players will figure it out.
Yeah, and I don't like that. It's like, yeah, some of it, yeah, I should have to go in and figure something out.
Yeah, we don't want hand-holding, but we want some kind of information.
Yeah, I don't want to have my hand held. I've stopped app games from doing that. It was just like, okay, I get what I'm supposed to do, let me do it. And it's the game just like, well, now click here, well, now click here, well, now click here, now click over here, now click over here. I was like, I'm done. I was like, if you're going to play the game for me, you don't need me to play.
Yep.
So if you're not, like, you need to hit a good medium of just enough guidance to get you to where you know where to go when you don't know where to go there, but not enough so that you're like, okay, now we're going to go through the middle part of the game. Are you ready to go through the middle part of the game? Let's go through the middle part of the game now. It's like, either you end up with not enough or you end up with too much. There's nobody's done just a perfect little happy medium of it.
Bringing it back to Nintendo, the Pokemon games, I still play them. I think I'm just a masochist at this point, because I've tried to replay the Aloha region and I cannot stand the amount of cutscenes and hand-holding that you've got to do just to get to the gyms in this game. It's like, I know how to play Pokemon. By Gen 7, most people know that you're catching and you're leveling up your Pokemon. Stop stopping me.
Yeah. They should have, on any Pokemon game that comes out in the future, there should be the first question you answer shouldn't be, are you a boy or are you a girl? It should be, have you played a Pokemon game before? You say yes. Okay, you're going to avoid this 2-hour tutorial of how to play this game. If you say no, then you're going to get the full introduction, and you're going to be stuck at where listening to the professor talk to you for a half an hour before you can go catch a Pokemon.
Yeah.
But for those of us that have played multiple Pokemon games and we got the core of it down,
I've got the Gen 1 games right behind us. I've been playing that long. Yeah. So it's kind of frustrating to play a game where you know what you're doing.
SP.
Yep.
Plays Pokemon.
Currently, we're playing Momon. And that's another thing. Modded games are making a rise, which I want to play a modded game, but I don't trust Nintendo because they're so happy. Yeah. That's the only reason why I haven't been streaming it. Because Axiom just sits and watches me sometimes when I play games just because of my reactions to them. I talk to the NPCs like they can talk back at me. I'm sure, Glass, you've heard me muttering sometimes over the mic.
Pretty cute.
in Discord. He's raided with me. Sometimes I respond back to the NPCs. That's just my persona. And I would love to stream these modded games because they are a lot better done than the actual games, you know?
Yeah, we we saw on somebody else's stream them playing this game, and I looked at it and I was like, what are they playing? And she was, they're playing Pokemon. I was like, that was not a Pokemon. And she was, what are you talking about? I was like, rewind it, look at it again. And I pulled up the Torchic because as soon as we figured out what it was, I was like, what is that? We need to figure out what this is. And it's called Momon.
Yes.
And they replaced the Pokemon with, I'm going to try to get this so that the camera can see it, but I don't think I'm going to.
You got to hold it still for just a second. It'll fade in.
And can you guys kind of see?
Yeah, she's coming in.
They made her a cute little Torchic person. And they did that to every single Pokemon in the game. They made them adorable and they made them cute. They fixed Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because they don't get uglier as you go up the evolutions. And
they brought back the got 'em, catch 'em all vibe that originally was the game's motto.
Yeah, we have been going through and...
I'm burning out of money in Pokeballs trying to catch these things.
Last night, Kat was sitting there. I was like, "Oh, have you seen the Weedle yet?" And I was like, "No, I just saw the Caterpie."
Yeah,
they're adorable.
My son loves bug and water Pokemon. Not my style normally. This game has made me like Pokemon that I never used to like. I could not stand the Geodude. One of the only 4-star ones I got in Go is that Alolan one with the weird hair, and I did not want it. But this game, if they had a 4-star Momon in Go, I would be catching all of those things.
Yeah.
I really feel like Nintendo needs to give more license and more creative freedom to these modders because they could be making money. I would buy these games. And a lot of people don't understand it. It doesn't take much. One of the things that I loved about DDO's recent release, which, they're coming out with the Salt Marsh Net, was they stopped focusing just on power and they gave us a lot of fluff. I've got unicorns and they sparkle. And I've got a black one and a white one, and now I've got armored ones. I'm happy. It doesn't take much. I know every gamer has their likes and dislikes. I don't want to say that my likes are the only thing that matters. It just feels nice when the game goes, let's have some fluff. Let's have some fun. It doesn't always have to be about power. I know that there are always going to be min-maxers and the number crunchers and the I need to hit for maximum damage types. Those people are needed in games too. Because they give those players who aren't sure how they want to play something to aspire to or something to avoid. There's room for all of us. But what I liked about the Feywild was it gave us pretty. It's okay to like pretty stuff. Exactly. That's one of the reasons why I still play DDO, is that they have something for everybody. The problem is there are a lot of gatekeepers, especially in Dungeons and Dragons games. One of my first DDO streams, I had to deal with a guy that was like, "You're false advertising. You said you were playing in Dungeons & Dragons and you're not." And I was like, "I'm playing Dungeons & Dragons online." They seem to think that the only way to play Dungeons & Dragons is pen and paper, and I've played pen and paper. Because of pen and paper, I found Dungeons & Dragons online. I was in a pen and paper group in Florida for almost 15 years. We left doing the Mr. Ravenloft. I was too pregnant to sit in a crowded room with a bunch of sweaty guys. I just couldn't do it anymore, especially in Florida. I was like, no, I'm about to have a baby. I love this campaign, but I gotta go. And I was mad because I really wanted to meet Lord Soft. But people don't understand that you don't have to gatekeep games. You don't have to say because you found something that works for you that it's the only way to play a video game. There is room for everybody. And then the beauty of games like DDO is we have instances and we have groupings. So if you don't want to play with a certain type, you don't have to. So maybe less in the forums about how the sky is falling, which is why I don't play in the forums anymore like I used to. And more just finding what works for you in the game and enjoying yourself. And I miss con. I miss going to con, and it's going to be a long time before we go to Comic-Con. Even if it becomes available again, it's just not as fun as it used to be. It's just too risky in our state, especially because there are people who still don't believe that what's going on is going on. And all the people that I've wanted to meet at Comic-Con has unfortunately passed. Like every single one of them.
Yeah.
The last person I wanted to meet, we had the opportunity, but his line was too long. You know, I had the chance to meet Stan Lee. Growing up, Stan Lee saved my life with his comics. One of the things I tell people was, what I went through at home, I couldn't talk about. And I do a mental health blog now on YouTube about it. My escape was comic books. And while DC was a fun, you had Batman, you had Wonder Woman, they felt like heroes that were just heroes that you could watch on TV. What I loved about Marvel Comics was the heroes went through stuff that I was going through growing up. People hated them for who they were. And if you've never lived that kind of life where you were targeted just for existing, I guess X-Men maybe didn't speak to you the same way it spoke to me. But those comics really helped me understand that it's not me, it's them. It helped me realize I don't have to be like the people bullying me for stuff that was out of my control. And it was men like Stan Lee that helped me develop the thicker skin that I carry through life. Exactly. Con was the slog. Like, we would go super early, stand in line, get in, and then we had like a small window where we could walk around, get online for stuff, and then when it became too peoply, Axiom gave me the keys to the car, me and Kiddo would bounce and sit in the car and wait for him and our friend to get done, because too many people mess with me. I just get anxious in big crowds. And
con has a set of things that you need to do before you go to con. The top thing, shower.
Yes.
I don't care that you get to live 364 days out of the year and not take a shower because you're living in your parents' basement and no one ever has to see you outside and you never see the light of day. I am tired of every time I go to con, there's that one guy that looks greasy. He's leaving a trail of grease. It's like Gary from SpongeBob. There's just a trail following him. And you can smell him 3 aisles after he's gone.
Yeah. You just give us a bad name. Every time people do that stereotypical geek, it's those guys. And then most of us, we strive to not be. I love geeking out about stuff. When I fanatic. I got a Sailor Moon clock that I'm looking at right now. So I understand geek life. But hygiene matters.
Yeah.
And when you're stuck in a room, because like I said, I played pen and paper, and we had this one guy who, he was fun to RP with, he wasn't fun to smell. And we tried being nice about it, and then finally we just had to stop grouping with him because the back room was not ventilated. And being in a back room with no windows, with a guy that thought deodorant was optional, is not fun. And when I got pregnant with my son, smells really get to pregnant women. I don't know if it's like that for everybody, but physically it was making me ill. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. Dude stinks. And it's either me or him. And I don't like doing that because a lot of people will say, well, we want you. Yeah. But I pulled rank that time.
Yeah, and it's, I hate being that guy that says that. I'm a big guy. I know. I stink. I shower every morning. Every morning.
He does.
First thing I do, brush teeth, get a shower.
And we're working on Kiddo. Kiddo seems to be bath intolerant right now.
Yeah.
I love him, but it's the truth. He does not like to shower or get clean. And I keep telling him, I know we are locked down. He does his learning remotely. He thinks, well, I can just lay around in my stench. Eventually, you're going to be around people again. You don't want to be that guy.
Girls do not like stinky.
No, some boys don't like it either.
Yeah.
You don't want to be, but you don't want to be, when you hang out with your friends, the first thing you're going to notice is if they stink.
Yeah.
Like you had a friend. That story. This is the first time I've ever seen, Axiom is not the kind of guy that gets mad, y'all, at all. He is very moderate. He likes to diffuse a situation. But he had this friend, and I'm saying friend, but I don't consider him our friend, that just doesn't get the point.
Yeah, I had a friend that wanted to go hang out. I felt bad for him. His dad had just passed. I had kind of separated myself from the situation because, as cold-blooded as it sounds, some people you outgrow.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds silly coming from Geek, outgrow. But he was still high school. He is the exact same person I knew in high school. I am not the same person that I was in high school. I'm fairly close to that. I have a lot of the same interests, but I've matured a little bit since then. And I was just like, I don't like hanging out with him because he's always like, hey, look at them. Bet you we could go get some beers and do this. And I was like, I'm not that guy. I was never that guy.
Yeah.
I am dating Cal. Why are you pointing that out to me? I'm not going to do anything about that. I got my shiny unicorn. I'm good. And he had an instance where he got in the car, and then he notified me after he was in the car that, I got a bed bug problem.
He was livid.
The rage that built up inside me, I couldn't decide if I wanted to go Super Saiyan or if I wanted to turn into the Hulk.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's fine. He smelled medicated, so it's like whatever shampoo that kills that, I'm sure he was bathing in it. But I was like, as long as he doesn't touch me, I'll be fine. And within 5 minutes, he did this.
Oh.
It's like, you're a dude. I'm a dude. We're not that way. There's no way for you to be putting your head on my shoulder right now. And then the rest of the day persisted along that line. When I got home, I was so angry. It took her at least 2 hours to calm me down.
Yeah. I had never seen... He does not get mad easily. The rage he had from it, because, first of all, who gets into somebody's car and then announce, I had bed bugs? That's like having lice or any other kind of like body creatures on you, and then letting your friend know after you get close to them. Yeah. That's skeevy and gross.
And I'm itchy now.
Yeah. It makes you itchy thinking about it. And if you're that guy, hygiene, it's not a bad thing. You'll make more friends because a lot of times you are interested for a reason. We don't make friends with you because of pity. I know some of you think that.
And by no means am I saying he's a bad guy.
No.
He is a very good guy but he's the same guy from high school.
Yeah.
I was like, I am not the same Greg that I was in high school.
Exactly. I mean, he legit was like, we should all hang out because I think he found somebody temporarily to date him. And my answer was a flat no, because I don't like people who are hygiene intolerant. And I am not good with keeping that to myself.
She said flat no. I was like, we'll have to set something up. I'll get back to you. He's still waiting for that phone call.
Yeah, because I'm team no. I don't like hanging out with people that I know I'm not going to get along with. And for the most part, his friends and I get along. Like, one of his friends is like a brother to me already. We just clicked. But there are people that I know I will not get along with, and anybody who makes him mad, I know is going to make me mad just by their antics. Because he doesn't get mad easily. I know, because I know I could be a bit much. And I have not made him rage yet. So I don't think I have. But it's just like,
I don't understand what she just said.
This guy just went out of his way to be like, well, I know this is skeeving you out. Let me be worse. And I'm saying this as a geek. You bring us all down, man. You elevate stereotypes about us that we're trying to show ain't true. Yeah, we like certain things. Yeah, some of us are a bit heftier. Who cares? But we don't stink. A lot of us have employment. We take care of our families, and we still like to game. One of my favorite animes is Love is Hard for an Otaku. Please let them get another season of that out. I am hoping. because it was the first time I seen a couple that realistically mirrored him and I. Friends that were friends for a long time before they started dating, and they had their reasons. He dated other people, I dated other people, but it never worked out. And then when we finally got together, it made sense. And I never seen an anime that did a relationship like that. It was always that weird, dramatic tension, will they, won't they, and crappy. Love is Hard for Otaku just really feels like I'm watching our relationship play out in an anime form. So I am really hopeful that they bring that series back because it's a lot of fun. And it's fun because a lot of the side character stories are just as interesting, which is very rare for anime. You always have the main characters that you follow and you root for, and then the side characters is like, oh, whatever happens to them.
Right.
It's the first time I've actually watched a show where I care about everybody in the series, and I'm rooting for them all. Well, besides Horimiya, but I don't want to get on that tangent.
Right.
I just think that we have a lot of perspective when it comes throughout the years, and we still watch a lot of this stuff. So you're going to see us talk about things like Loki. We're going to be watching that series soon. We've got season 2, finally, of One Punch Man. I really wish y'all could have been here when we watched season 1 because it was hilarious. Moon Man Rider is this man's favorite character, and it's hilarious. Loki is good. I watched the first pilot episode of it, and I cannot wait to talk about that series.
I haven't watched any of it, so we got to rewatch the pilot.
Oh,
yeah. Watch the next one and then the next one.
Yeah.
When we were watching season 1, and I had watched season 1 before Cal had watched season 1.
Yeah.
And we sat down to watch it together, and I had admittedly it had been a bit. I had forgotten most of it. All I remembered was like, I like this.
Yeah.
So when they showed Moon Man Rider, and I was like, wait till you see this guy. This guy is phenomenal. And it come up to the first part where they have these guys in armor that they'd stolen, and he gets beat up. And she goes, is he just on a bike? And I was like, yeah, he's Moon Man Rider. And she goes, okay. And then I remembered the Sea King episode, like last just referenced. Exactly. He was pedaling up, and I was like, if he throws that bike, I'm going to lose it.
And he did.
And he threw that bike, and I was just like, he is my new favorite hero.
Yeah.
Forget One Punch, forget Genos. That man is going to save all of us.
Yeah. And then we were watching when the crowd was trying to amp him up and the little kid, and I talked to the TV like the stereotypical thing. And the kid's like, you can do it. I was like, don't listen to kids. They're stupid. They don't know.
You can do it, Moon Man Rider. And I went, no, you can't.
And we were making ourselves laugh just responding to it. So I cannot wait to watch season 2 with him because it was hilarious. And this is just like a preview of some of the things we're going to do. It's going to be talking and chat interactions, but we have Prime accounts, so we're going to do a lot of watch stuff too. He's going to try to talk me into Rad. I don't think I can sit through that movie again, but you never know.
If you haven't seen Rad, and it's available on Vudu, she look, she's upset. She did this. I did not prompt this conversation.
They made us sit through Rad through summer camp one year, and I was like, why did they make this movie?
It is called Rad with, I think, is it 2Ds?
I think it's 2D.
It's 2Ds. It's a BMX bike movie, and it's about Crew Jones, who grows up in this little town, and they have this BMX bike track that they either want to build there or it was a traveling thing, and they called it Hell Track, and it's him, and it's 80s. It's the 80s in a nutshell because he just wants to ride his bike the best he can, and his mom wants him to go to college. And I was like, that is not something you see right now.
Yeah.
But I watched it as a kid, and it's got such an awesome soundtrack that in the 80s you could sell me on anything as long as it had a good soundtrack to go with the style of the movie.
That's why I love Gem.
Yeah. So she's seen it, and I said, you haven't seen it? You got it? She goes, no, I've seen it. I was like, okay, I'll let you off. You don't have to watch it if you've already seen it. But it is such a... It was one of those movies that if you didn't see it, until I met Cal, if you didn't see it, you didn't know about it, so you didn't have an opinion. But if you saw it, you absolutely loved it. She's the first person that has seen it and has not absolutely loved it.
I'm telling you right now, I grew up in New York City. We went to an inner city Summer camp. You don't play a movie like Rad to a bunch of little black kids and expect them to resonate. I was like, what is this? Why are you playing this? It was like that story I told you about Drop Dead Fred. We got a bootleg copy of Drop Dead Fred, and the best part of that movie was at the end, the two guys was like, why are they sending us to tape this cracker ass shit? My family hollered at that part. I don't even remember Drop Dead Fred, the full movie. I just remember getting that bootleg, and the bootleggers so mad that they had to sit through that cracker ass movie. That was the funniest thing ever. And that's why I was like, Rad resonated with you on a level that it didn't with me, because they made us sit through Rad in that inner city summer camp. There wasn't nary a white face in that crowd.
Well, that's probably why I do it. And I want them to do a movie.
Yeah.
And I've told Cal about this idea. I want them to do a movie to showcase the difference between, and it's got to be a horror movie, the difference between certain demographics and other demographics, to where it's a bunch of these white teenagers that go into a haunted mansion and they hear a noise and they're like, we got to investigate it.
I'm out.
And then there's a character like Cal just said that just goes, you know what? Now, you guys go ahead, I'm out. And then you don't see that character until the end of the movie. And then the rest of the movie is just all them stupid white kids getting murdered, like think Scooby-Doo, but, actual like what would happen to Scooby-Doo and the gang if they actually met somebody that was trying to kill them. And then that other character just sitting in traffic, listening to the radio, and then them being like, in news today, several bodies of some teens have been discovered in this house, and then just clicking the radio off, like, told him not to go into that house, and just driving off, and he's fine. Nothing happens to him because when he heard,
he listened.
He got out.
Because that is my thing. If I hear a noise, my brain isn't investigate. My brain is run. Fight or flight is a thing.
Right.
I do not understand people that are like, we heard an intrusion. Let's investigate. That is not my style. Oh, there we go.
Yes, Camp Crystal. We will watch that Glass after we get done here, because we're getting ready to wrap up.
I got steaks marinating. We're about to have a steak dinner tonight, and then I'm going to play some video games. But for real, I am so glad you joined us on this. I'm telling you, I did it last week, and I shocked us by how good they came out, so I was like, I'm going to try it again. But I just want to thank you for letting us do this. We love talking about geek and pop culture stuff. And like I said in the beginning of the cast, I know we're not the only ones, but other people like scripts.
We're better.
They like to see.
We're better. That's it. She's gonna be diplomatic about this time. I'm gonna be blunt. We're better than other people.
Because we just do this. It's no scripting. This is just what we talk about anyway, and we have fun doing it. And we want y'all to participate. And if you ever have like an idea you want to bring up, like gaming or anything wise, a lot of us were from the same generations, or we like the same things. As Ziana brought up a few streams ago in her stream, we're from the before times, where if you missed a night of TV, you were fucked for that series, because they didn't replay stuff like we get now.
You better hope the TV Guide had that episode documented and when it was going to come up at what time and what channel.
Yep.
Or you were going to wait until that series did a repeat.
Yep, I hope it did and wasn't canceled and you missed your only chance to view it. I'm telling you, I love that there are a lot of people out there. That's why we call ourselves the Gen X Cynics, because we've seen some things. So if you like this cast,
that's some stuff, man.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
We're going to try for Saturdays. I don't know if we're going to do it this early or a little bit later, but Saturdays we will be doing this cast for about an hour. Any topics that are geek, gaming, pop culture reference, you name it, we'll be talking about it. But we're going to get ready to wrap it up so I can cook dinner and then get on to play some games. I will talk to you all soon. Thank you for tuning in. You guys say, honey?
What's up?
You're a mess.
See y'all Monday.
See you Monday for Mario Monday.